Welcome once again to another episode of the Random Access Podcast, brought to you by rapodcast.net. This is episode 809, recorded live on October 12th, 2024. And here are your hosts, the man who didn't have to worry about watching Michigan football today, Dave Play.
Hi.
And the man who is still waiting for the Western Michigan football game to finish, Andy Lowe.
Oh, is that what you've been so distracted with?
No, I was distracted by other stuff, but
okay.
The Western Michigan football game.
It's in the fourth quarter.
Yes. Did you see what time the kickoff was?
No.
Let's see.
Are you going to tell me the time the kickoff was?
It was at 3.
I presume there was a delay.
Yes. If you look at the weather.
Oh, the storm that hit here this morning.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of lightning here.
Yeah.
So they just delayed until after the storm passed? They didn't cancel?
Nope, because they couldn't cancel because they hadn't played 3 quarters yet. Once you reach the fourth quarter, then you can actually call the game, but you have to complete 3
But you could
quarters.
Also just postpone the game for like another week, can't you?
For another week?
Yeah, like delay the game and like replay it later.
You could delay it and replay it the next day is what most of the things are, but the Akron football team wasn't expecting to have to stay overnight. They were going to get on their bus and go back to Akron, Ohio.
So they don't have like stuff.
Yes. So they were unable to stay overnight.
So both teams are like, I guess we'll wait for the storm to pass.
Yeah.
And then just like sat in the locker rooms?
I guess so for,
4 hours?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that has to suck.
Over 7.5 hours from start until...
What about the people watching the game?
Because it was a weather delay, they had to have everybody leave the football stadium. This actually happened to us one time during... Was either band day or comm university day?
So they all left the football stadium.
Well, yeah, no, this happened where they had a whole bunch of people there. They had the halftime show, and then as soon as the halftime show finished, the announcer came on. It said that due to inclement weather, the game will be delayed and everybody has to leave the football stadium because there is no,
safety.
Yeah, there's no safe spot. Actually, there is a safe spot. It turns out it's the suites. So the people who were in the suites got to stick around and stay. And I mean, you're in a suite, so you probably have food and
it's
drinks.
Catered. You got food. You've got bathrooms.
Yep, but everybody else at the football stadium had to leave, and that was ridiculous.
Did they let them back in?
Yes, that one that I went to, everybody had to leave, but then they still let people back in if they wanted to, but that was after like a 2-hour delay.
I imagine it was not many people.
Yeah, no, not many people showed back up again, which was funny because, at the end of the game, they always announce, the official attendance.
Yeah.
And they announced the official attendance to basically like an entirely empty football field. And because I used to work with the play-by-play announcer when they announced it, you could hear just like everybody in the crowd just cracking up because they're like, oh, really? Really, that's the official attendance?
The official attendance of 80,000 people, 2,000 people laughing.
Yep. But yeah, no, it was a 4+ hour weather delay.
Damn.
Just because they hadn't gotten into the fourth quarter.
Yep.
So, but yes, no, they're in the fourth quarter now. Western's on top. Might mean I might have to change the flag because Eastern lost.
Do you put the winning team's flag in front of your house?
Yes.
Okay. Talk about a fair weather fan.
What? I put Eastern. Eastern's out there right now.
Yep.
Eastern loses. Kate went to Western, so I've got a Western flag.
Yep.
So Eastern lost. Western wins. Western will get the flag outside.
You could just put both.
Well, we only have one little, not a flagpole, but like a flag... Mount, yes.
Anchor point. Yes, but you could get a second one.
Yes, but what? I look like a frickin' embassy or something with multiple flags out front?
Is that better or worse than a flag that keeps changing?
Well, it's going to change anyway, because, in a week or so, I'm going to probably put out the pirate flag just for Halloween.
Okay.
So,
are you going to put out a Harris flag after that?
I don't know.
Not much time left.
Yeah, don't tell me about it. I've got poll worker meeting, I think, on the 30th or the 30th. I think it's got to be on the 30th. There's no way somebody would have scheduled
for Halloween
a meeting for Halloween.
Never say never.
Yeah, no, I'm looking that up right now. Appointment to work, general election, November 5th. There will be a training for this election on October 30th, 3 to 4:30 p.m. Okay, so no, it's on the 30th.
Okay. That said, of course, isn't Halloween on a Thursday?
Yes.
So Halloween might not be on Halloween.
No, the city of Portage doesn't do anything like that.
Okay. I have no idea if we do. I don't know when trick-or-treating is supposed to be.
But let's see. Isaac after school care is through the Y, and I do believe the Y is doing a trunk and treat on the 25th. Megan's daycare is doing a trunk and treat on the 26th. There's a trick or treat at the mall if we want to go on the 27th. Not really concerned about that one, but the school is also doing a trunk and treat on the 30th, and then there's actual Halloween on the 31st. So possibly 4, maybe 5 trick or treat options out there.
That's not bad. That's
No.
a lot of candy.
Which the kids will probably promptly forget about.
The candy or doing them?
No, the candy.
Your kids forget about their candy?
Yes, they have
I'm
forgotten
confused.
about. I don't understand my kids sometimes.
I don't understand this, Andy.
My kids go to McDonald's and they eat the apple slices and not the French fries. Kate took Megan to Noodles and Company on Wednesday or Friday.
Uh-huh.
She went to Noodles and Company because Isaac and I were doing something that was for elementary kids only and parents, no
Sure.
outside family. She went to Noodles and Company, got the mac and cheese, and then Kate's like, okay, do you want a Rice Krispie treat or broccoli? And Megan said broccoli. I know. I am
What
perplexed.
did you do right?
I don't know. They're sitting there at dinner, eating all of their fruits and vegetables. You know what? Hey, do you guys want a snack of some kind? Sure, I'll have an apple and some orange slices.
I mean, that sounds great.
I know.
As I sit here and eat a box of hot tamales.
I have had too many Reese's pumpkins recently. So, yeah. And I'm also, still sitting here drinking a Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I will have apple slices and orange slices.
No, she wants the whole apple. She doesn't want to
The
cut
whole
up.
apple.
So she wants the whole apple. She will eat the apple, and then she'll also eat the orange slices.
Friend of mine eats the whole apple.
I used to work with somebody, wasn't a really great guy, didn't last long at the radio station, but yeah, he was somehow able to eat he would take the stem out, but then he would somehow be able to eat the whole apple where he didn't end up with a core. And I'm just like,
it's all edible.
Yes, it all depends on how you eat it. I think he ate it from the top down.
Well, you can eat around the core and then just eat the core.
Well, yeah, but he would slice it. So he would slice through the core.
Okay.
So it was not a lot of core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just eat, you can do that.
Yeah, no, it was just so weird when he was eating the whole apple. I'm just like,
but I have a friend who will take an apple in his hand and eat the whole apple, not sliced.
oh no, he would hand slice it from the top down.
Yeah.
And then just eat the apple slices that way.
I have another friend who can rip an apple in half.
I feel like that's a waste of an apple.
Well, he eats it then.
Oh, okay.
But he can take an apple and just break it into 2 pieces.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a sight. It is definitely a sight to see.
So election training on the 30th. All right.
Yes.
Yep, this one's gonna be fun. It's actually gonna be my first presidential election.
Ooh.
Because I started doing this after 2020, so we'll see how this goes. Because I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah, the line starts at 6:30 and it doesn't go away until the end of the day.
Pretty much. I might just see about getting pizza delivered instead of, when we did the primaries and the other off midterm election in August, I think, or April, something like that. Yeah, it was dead. So they're just like, hey, does somebody want to run out and get food? Take your time. Yeah. Anybody need to go for a walk? I
think you should probably ask at your meeting on the 30th.
Yes.
About what do we do for food?
Yes. Well, most of the time we just we've always done a little potluck sort of thing.
Right.
I always bring.
It's going to be a little more intense.
Yes.
Is the point?
Yeah. Nope, that's true.
All the stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's going to be. It's going to be a fun next couple of weeks.
Please go vote.
Yep. I'm actually going to be
Please go
voting.
vote.
I've actually got my ballot right here.
Nice.
Because it
But
turns
I'm
out
not talking to you, Andy. I know you're going to vote. I'm talking to, like, anyone listening. Please go vote.
But no, because Michigan has early voting now,
Mm-hmm.
and they've now set up the system so you can translate an absentee ballot to a precinct ballot.
Okay.
So I can actually, because that was always my concern with absentee ballots is, okay, I fill out all the bubbles, I sign the back, I mail it in, and in Michigan, they're not allowed to be processed until the day of the election.
Right.
So if I somehow screwed up the bubbles, I don't have a chance to fix it. If I go to the precinct...
Well, I mean, isn't that true at the precinct too?
No.
Because the machine scans it.
The machine scans it and will alert you to tell you exactly what's wrong with your ballot, going, hey, you didn't vote here, or hey, you overvoted here. What would you like to do? And then at the precinct, you can either say, forget about it, or we can spit it right back out. We can spoil the ballot, give you a new one, try again.
Right.
Heck, there was somebody who I think spoiled 4 ballots before we finally were able to talk her through how to do it correctly. So yeah, no, that was always my thing with the absentee ballots. It's like, okay, if I somehow screwed this up, it just counts as a no vote. I don't have a chance to fix it.
Yep.
Because by the time it gets to the tabulation part of it,
the election's already over.
Well, also any identifiable marks on the ballot have already been removed.
Oh, so they don't even know it's yours.
Yes, they just know, hey, this ballot had a problem.
Yeah.
Because you have to remove the tab for the ballot.
There still has
number.
to be a way to track it back, though.
What do you mean?
No? Like, there's no way to track that ballot back to the person who cast it?
At that point, no.
Huh.
Because before the tabulation machine is able to read it, you have to remove the ballot number on the top. And the ballot number is the only identifiable number that will correlate to a voter. So once it gets put into the tabulator, that is it.
Interesting.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep. Tabulator will screw up if you have that thing still attached.
Yeah.
So that was always my concern. But now with early voting and the ability to change it, I'm actually going to next weekend, it looks like. Is it next weekend or the 2 weeks? 2 weeks from today. Early voting starts. I'll take it into one of the early voting sites and be like, here's my absentee ballot. Please convert it to a poll, precinct ballot.
And then I
will feed it into the machine and make sure I did it right.
There you go.
Yes.
Sounds good.
That is my, I want to really make sure this time.
Did your ballot not get counted last time, or just because of what this election is?
Because of this election, it's like, I don't want to take any chances.
Okay.
So
I can understand and appreciate that.
Yeah. So yes, we'll find out on November 9th how this all goes down.
Theoretically.
Well, no, it took until the 9th last time, right?
Maybe?
I'm trying to remember. It was during the the middle of COVID, so I don't remember exactly.
Was it the next day or the day after?
No, it was a couple days after. Okay, election was held on November 3rd. November 7th, it looks like. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Yep, CNN was the first one to call Joe Biden getting enough to be elected president. It was at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that.
Okay. Maybe it'll go faster.
We'll see. We shall see. But anyway, that is not one of our topics. It was a good rabbit hole.
Elections and Halloween and your children's candy habit.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, they keep on, they've forgotten Easter candy. They've forgotten Halloween candy. And it's like, I don't want to eat all this candy. So we just throw it out.
What?
I know. It's just, it's one of those weird things.
Donate it. Give it to someone.
Well, no, this was like mid-November where they had been sitting out for a couple of weeks. So I don't know. I just don't know, but we shall see. I've got my Halloween costume this year. I've gone for the very lazy, I'm going as a Snorlax.
You're going as a Snorlax?
Yes. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I picked up one of the onesies online and I'm like, well, here we go. It fits. Isaac is going as a Pikachu, so...
I presume you're going to be walking around with him getting candy then?
Possibly.
Okay.
He only went to a couple doors last year, but that was just because the weather last year was crappy.
Yeah. It could be funny to have you, like, just sitting on your front porch as the Snorlax with, like, the bowl of candy on your lap. Snorlax.
Yep.
I'm going to be pivoting this year. Normally I do my lazy Arthur Dent costume.
Yep, I remember that one.
Yep. But I was gifted this year a shoulder dragon.
A what?
A shoulder dragon.
A shoulder?
It is a stuffed dragon.
Okay.
That sits around my shoulder.
So it's like a pirate's parrot, but
a dragon.
A dragon.
Here, I will send you a picture.
Okay, I'm looking at some of these. Some of these are quite large. Oh, that's adorable.
Right?
That is a lot smaller than some of the ones I've seen online.
No, this is a tiny one.
Yes. Okay.
So I will probably be going as a wizard this year.
It's a good call.
With a shoulder-mounted dragon.
Yep. No, that's a good call on that one.
Right?
Yeah. Well, Dave, here's the question for you.
Topics.
Yes. Are you going to be awake at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning?
Didn't plan on it.
Do you know
Starship 5?
Yes. As we talked
what is the flight plan of Starship 5?
Let's see.
Are we going for a full orbit?
No. This one is same mission profile from last time, except this one will have the return of the booster to be caught by the launch tower. Yeah, with the launch sticks. Yeah, or the chopsticks.
They're going to do the chopsticks.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny because I remember we had talked about on this podcast earlier about how the fact that FAA said, this isn't going to happen until, mid-November.
Well, mid-October is not much behind.
Yep. I still can't believe the FAA put the green light on a Saturday afternoon. That's when they posted that this was good to go. And then, SpaceX is like, all right, we're going to go on Sunday. Wait, what?
Well, they know what's going on.
Yep.
What's their staff going to say? Like, oh, I can't come in. It's Sunday. Motherfuckers, you're launching a rocket into space. They're not going to, they'll do it. They'll go and launch it.
It was funny watching some of the NSF guys and other people go like, they're prepping this Starship, but they don't have the FAA approval. And we all, heard the whole thing about the FAA saying, okay, it's going to be a 90-day delay due to other stuff. And they're like, but they're still prepping. What are they doing? And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, okay, we're getting a lot of paperwork filed.
Yeah.
Saying that they plan on launching on Sunday. So when's the FAA going to give the okay? Saturday afternoon.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I will be awake to see it.
It all depends on Isaac. If Isaac is awake, I will be up for it. If Isaac does not wake up, I will not be up for it. Because that is literally like 8 hours from right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, so
time for bed, Andy.
Yep, same mission profile. So they're going to launch. They're going to try and land the Starship vehicle in the Indian Ocean. Hopefully, with more of it this time than last time. But yeah, no, the only change is the fact that they're going to try and have the booster land back at the launch tower. Which, have you tried the SpaceX game or no?
No.
They did, starshipthegame.spacex.com. It's kind of like, I don't know, you try and launch the Starship and then you have to avoid aliens on your way down to try and get a high score. It's a silly little game.
All right, what is it again?
Starshipthegame.spacex.com.
Starship the game. Pending regulatory approval.
Yep.
Keyboard options, launch into orbit, catch the super heavy, don't run out of fuel. Oh god, that's loud. Oh my god, that's loud. It's gonna let that fall. There we go, audio off. I don't know what I'm collecting. I'm falling for significantly longer than I was, going up.
Well, there's an altimeter on the left side.
Success! You caught the booster! Whee!
I still don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm trying to do it on, the ludicrous difficulty.
Apparently, if you just go all the way up, you see the ISS. I presume I'm supposed to collect these stars?
I think so.
But, the score's not going up when I collect the stars.
I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with that, so.
I'm just fallen in a very crowded sky.
With lots of aliens.
And other stationary things.
Yep.
I am so confused, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go all the way back up? Yep, I can go all the way back up. and just slam into the top of the screen and use up all of my propellant. There we go. Now we're in hard mode. Oh, the stars are propellant.
Oh, okay.
The stars give you more fuel. But like, what I'm falling. Am I supposed to collect things, dodge things?
I don't know. It's just a very silly game.
Oh, if you hit things, you lose propellant. I think it's just fall as fast as you can so that you can get caught by the chopsticks. I'm so confused. Okay, it's cute.
It's like no matter what I'm doing, I'm losing points on my high score. I don't know. Yes, this is a very odd game. But anyway, so yes, that's going to be tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully I won't wake up to, news alerts of, crash and burn.
I mean, I put it at greater than 50% likelihood of an RUD.
Probably, yeah.
I would be shocked if it did not. What else do you want to talk about? There's more...
Well, there's
robo stuff.
Just to keep on the space news.
Sure.
I didn't know about this mission, but the ESA just launched a mission called Hera. Remember when NASA basically ran a spacecraft into an asteroid?
DART.
Yep. Well, so they ran it into DART. There was a small CubeSat deployed by DART to try and capture as much of it as possible. But the ESA has a mission now to actually go back to the asteroid and see what the hell happened.
Like, we hit this thing, now we should probably go and check on it?
That's what they did. Yeah, they want to actually map out the asteroid, like look at its composition and size and everything else, so they can actually tell how successful this whole ram them off the road, plan is for asteroids. Well, not ram them off the road, kind of nudge
Just
them.
nudge them out of the way.
Yeah, nudge them out of the way. Because they're like, cool, we were able to, nudge it off its regular orbit.
Deflect.
But they want to know how well did it work. And they're like, well, what's the asteroid made out of? And you're like,
Wait, we ran into it and we don't know what it's made of?
Well, because we ran into it. So we kind of, broke our spaceship by running it into an asteroid. You
know what would have maybe been a better design for a spaceship if it had had just a tiny little other ship attached to it, so that in the final stages it could have separated and in fact gotten a speed boost from the ship being launched behind it. And then that ship could have done telemetry and, sensor studies and been like, oh, it's made of this. But I guess when your mission is hit an asteroid as hard as you can, you probably want to use all of your mass.
Yep. And speaking of that, this was actually a Falcon 9 launch that was zero recovery planned because they needed to reach 26,745 miles per hour, which was the highest speed ever achieved by SpaceX was the Falcon 9. Mm-hmm. So they filled up a Falcon 9 the whole way, literally did not plan for any recovery of anything, just so they could get Hera up to speed and out there as fast as possible, which was good because the FAA was still investigating the malfunction of the Crew 9 mission because there was an issue with the second stage reentry.
Oops.
But since this launch they didn't even care. They're like, look, the absence of a second stage reentry for this mission adequately
not a problem.
Yeah, adequately mitigates the primary risk to the public in the event of a reoccurrence of the mishap experienced with the Crew 9 mission.
In short, it doesn't matter.
You guys weren't planning on doing any sort of reentry with the second stage, so
yep,
you're allowed to fly because you're not going to cause the same problem you did last time.
Yep.
So, yeah, so they're going to go to the 2 years from now. It's going to take her 2 years to get
to the asteroid.
To the asteroid, yep. Eventually moving to as close as half a mile away to actually do a complete survey. Yep.
They're gonna fly out there.
Yep.
And then just measure the crap out of this thing that we already hit.
Yes. They're gonna check the did the impact leave a crater or did it reshape the entire asteroid? What happened? They had Hubble looking at it, but all the Hubble could do was identify,
Hubble does not have great resolution at that distance.
No, it does not. So yeah. So I just found it hilarious that it's like, oh, this mission, $400 million is going, okay, NASA smashed a car into the asteroid, and the European Space Union is
now we
like,
need to go look at it.
Have you guys sent anybody up there to make sure that this worked right? So there we go. Any other space news? Not really, no.
Okay.
There is a follow-up from one of the other stories that we talked about. Remember how we talked about the law in California where...
you aren't actually buying this law?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Steam is actually one of the first companies to actually do something about it.
And what did they do?
Well, now, during the checkout page, there is a nice big thing under the estimated total and continue to payment section where it says, a purchase of a digital project grants a license for the product on Steam. For full terms and conditions, please see the Steam subscriber agreement.
Which is to say, you don't own this.
Yep. So Valve has now added to its cart page before you actually check out that you very clearly are purchasing a license to the game.
Not the actual game.
Yes.
Yep. That reminds me, when does the new Factorio expansion come out?
It's a Factorio expansion?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
It's called Factorio Space Age. It comes out on the 21st.
I see.
It is the same price as the base game, but like it's really cool. I'm very much looking forward to this.
Speaking of video games and coming out soon.
Yeah.
Tecumseh is going to be in the next Civ game.
Tecumseh, the like native first peoples tribe.
Yes.
Cool.
A bunch of the scholars that they talked to, historical scholars, said, I don't know if that's a good idea to put them in the game.
Really?
Yes. So a bunch of the academic people that they were talking to try and, get the historical accuracies correct.
Yeah.
Were suggesting that they shouldn't put Tecumseh in the game.
Why is that? I know nothing about it.
It was basically just because of how the First Nation people were not really conquerors. It was more of like working together.
Neither was Gandhi. I want to put that out.
So, let's see if I can find this article. It wasn't on here, but it was still, they actually decided to, talk to the Shawnee tribal nation to, talk to them and say, okay, do you guys want this in the game? And it turns out the Shawnee tribe chief, Ben Barnes,
played the Civilization.
Alpha Centauri.
Okay.
So as soon as Firaxis came asking, he was like,
yes, absolutely. That sounds really cool. Oh no, they're very peaceful. Like they weren't conquerors. You shouldn't put hey, you guys want to be in this game? Yes. Like George Washington wasn't a conqueror.
No.
Mostly.
That's true. So it was really funny. So they started working with the tribe directly, and they were trying to use as much of the Shawnee language as possible. Mm-hmm. So they were actually like asking him questions like, hey, what would be, because the civilization, there's stuff going into the future. So they're like, right. Okay, what would be the Shawnee word for like space station? And they're like, nobody's really asked that question.
Huh. Well, hang on. Let us get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the word for like floating sky, city, settle.
Yeah. So they were like, they asked the Shawnee to imagine like what a Shawnee university or library would look like, because these aren't things that are, part of their
that they
original.
have. Yeah.
And they were asking to create new words. And they're like, okay, well, this is interesting. And so like Firaxis basically started a whole language revitalization program for the Shawnee culture because of this, just because of the game. It's like, what do we, nobody's asked these questions about our language before. How do we keep our language current?
I mean, a lot of them are just like, they're worried about keeping their language at all.
Yeah.
Let alone current. That's fantastic, though. I love that. I love every part of that. Andy, why don't you bring me good topics like that more often?
It was something I had read about and then promptly forgot. So yes, the Shawnee are going to be an exploration age civilization. So
cool.
They're good. They're because the civilizations changed during the 3 eras. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Very curious about Civ 7. Wait, the Civilization Collector's Edition is a decorative clock. That's the Collector's Edition item. Passage of the Civilization Collector's Edition.
Yeah.
You get postcards, premium packaging, high quality art print, a little scout figurine, some pins, yield icon patch set, and a Passage of Time clock.
Man, what is it with clocks? Clocks seem to be all the rage right now.
I guess it was their time.
Oh. But you know about the other clock, right?
The one that was broken, or
No.
no? What clock are you talking about? The lunar clock?
No.
No.
Although that is a thing. That NASA is setting a time zone for the moon.
Yes. Did I put that on here? I did not. But yeah, no. They wanna send a bunch of atomic clocks up to the moon so they can have a set time for future lunar missions.
Yeah.
Which part?
Go ahead.
Well, part of me was thinking of, how they keep track of time down in Antarctica. And I do believe that the time isn't it the time in Antarctica basically based off of the time of the host of the research facility?
You are asking me. I am the wrong person to ask, Andy.
What? You don't know about time scheduling in the Arctic? No, it's the Arctic
Antarctic.
Circle? Antarctic Circle?
Nope. I do not.
Is it really the Antarctic Circle down there?
Yeah.
It is the Antarctic Circle.
I mean, it's just Antarctica, but yes. Do you know what the Arctic is, by the way?
Is the Arctic...
Like the word Arctic.
No.
Is with bear. And the Antarctic...
Is without bear?
Is without bear. Where do polar bears live, Andy?
The word Arctic comes from the Greek word near the bear. What? That is crazy.
Well, to be clear, it's the Big Dipper. That bear.
Okay. Not
polar bears. Yeah. But it's funny because polar bears live in the Arctic with the bear.
And not in the Antarctic.
And they do not live in the Antarctic.
Oh, dude. Well, that's crazy.
Toward the bear. Of the bear. Yeah. I'm pretty sure in that case it's Ursa Major and Ursa Minor that they are talking about and not polar bears. It'd be really, really funny for the Greeks to know about polar bears and to know that the polar bears lived in the north and not in the south.
There have been 11 people born in Antarctica.
Yup. Horny scientists gonna get horny.
Well, if they're in there during winter, it's a long night.
Yeah, and there's nowhere to go and nothing to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, has the Arctic Circle gone into internal night yet or no?
I'm sorry, Andy. Can you say that again?
Isn't it like internal
eternal night?
Eternal night, yes. Isn't that
okay? Like internal night. Like,
I feel this darkness in my soul.
Crawling inside of me. Eternal night. Yeah. We are past the equinox, so the pole is
polar night. Let's see. Polar night lasts for more than 24 hours.
It's really just like there's always, after the equinox, there will always be a part of the northern hemisphere that's in polar night. It's just that part grows and grows and grows.
Yeah. Okay. 72 degrees north is... Well, that's polar twilight. 179 days at the pole. So yeah, no, there are...
Astronomical polar night.
Yeah.
Starts on November 12th.
Oh, it goes for 179 days?
Nope.
No.
November 12th to January 28th. This is the polar night, not twilight. Polar night. Within the polar circle, approximately 5.5 degrees from the pole. Yeah. But yeah, scientists be horny. And you get pregnant, you're not going to go home.
Nope.
You're out there doing research. You're not just going to turn around and be like, well, I guess I'm going to go home.
Okay, so polar night is stars of the dimmest magnitude visible to the naked eye will be visible throughout the entire day.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's only like a 2.5 month period.
Yep.
Still, that's a 2.5 month long night.
Yes.
That's a long night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else what's going on with Apple and Amazon?
Well, Apple and Amazon want to team up and put Apple TV Plus into Amazon Prime.
Ooh.
So Apple TV Plus will be a $10 add-on to the Prime Video app. The same price users pay when they subscribe to Apple's service directly, but they will not have to have two apps. You will be able to get Apple TV from inside the Prime Video app.
I mean, you can already do that with like Paramount, can't you?
Some of the Hulu stuff you can get through the Prime Video app. Freevee, I think, is through the Prime Video app.
So Amazon's just trying to get like their video app to be the video app.
Yes.
How do we feel about this?
Well, having the latest Chromecast, well, not the latest one anymore, because I don't have the Cube, I just have the Chromecast. Most of the stuff we can search from is just on the homepage or searching from the Google search, where it's like we wanted to watch, we're doing family movie nights once a week, Sunday nights. So we wanted to watch the Lego movie and the Lego movie sequel. So I didn't even search for what app that was in. I just hit the little Google Assistant button on the Chromecast remote and I said the Lego movie, and it popped up the Lego movie because the Google already knows what apps we have and has our logins for those apps. So I just said the Lego movie and it popped up, hey, the Lego movie. And like, where to watch? And I was like, yes, this one. And I click it and it loads it up. You know, some of the apps, it's a little better working with it. Some of them are still just bring you up to the main page, but at least I'm in the app and I know exactly, you know, what I'm looking for.
You know what you're looking for.
Yep. And I go to town and then we had to like stop watching something partway through, and there was a literally, you know, on the bottom there, it's like continue watching, and it had the Lego Movie 2, like resume where we stopped right there on the homepage. I think it was a Prime Video, or it might have been a freebie. I don't know. But I didn't have to figure out who was there because the Chromecast had figured it all out for me. So am I, you know, the lesser of two evils sort of thing? I don't know. But once it becomes available later this month, Prime members will be able to subscribe to Apple TV Plus with no extra apps to download. No, I just want it to be free though.
Yeah, that's apparently not going to happen.
Nope. That's the part I'm not happy about, is the fact that it's like, okay, well, you don't have to go anywhere else. So like, well, that's fine, but I still have to pay the $10. So what is this actually getting me as a Prime Video?
Nothing.
Yep.
It gets you nothing.
I said, good day, sir.
Oh, Gene Wilder.
This will probably help Apple because it will get them in front of more eyeballs, right?
How?
Well, you're in the Prime Video app. There will be, you know, hey, recommendations of what about this? Or, you know, hey, you like soccer? Well, what about Ted Lasso? Or, you know.
For $10 a month.
Yeah. If you're a soccer fan, how about, you know, Major League Soccer games?
Yep.
That's through.
How about the Tetris movie?
Yeah.
Which I need to watch. Did I download that? I don't remember if I did. I need to watch it either way.
Oh, what was I just watching? Somebody told me to watch Atomic Blonde recently. That was
I have never heard of this.
Think of it like Charlize Theron being John Wick. I've
never seen John Wick.
Oh.
I know what it's about, though.
Yes. So imagine that. Okay. But it's set in like 1980s Berlin. So the whole East-West Berlin, U.S. versus Russia sort of Cold War spy sort of thing, too. It got me through about 90% of the way through, but now the twists and turns are coming, and I'm not sure I like how they're twisting and turning, so we shall see. Speaking of that, though, did you watch the Nautilus trailer or no?
No.
Oh, yep. Speaking of Amazon, Prime is going to be doing a 10-episode series on Nemo called Nautilus.
When you say on Nemo, you mean on the Jules Verne 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
Yes.
Which is in the public domain.
Yes.
And thus they are taking the story and doing their own twist on it.
Yes.
It's not a biography of this man who did not exist.
Yes, that is true. You know, they're doing their own twist on it, which...
Nautilus being the name of the ship.
Yes. Watching the trailer, it turns out Nemo might have been a prisoner?
I mean, he wasn't in the book.
No, he wasn't in the book. No, he was a prince in the book, right?
What? Was he?
Yeah.
I never read it, to be clear.
Oh, no, I actually read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Took me a whole frickin' summer to read that. Jules Verne liked to write.
Not a succinct writer.
No, he was not. Took me the whole summer to get through that book. Finally did that. Got some Washtenaw dairy ice cream as my reward.
Aww.
Yeah. But no, he was a prince, if I remember correctly, and then he lost his family in some sort of, I think, one of the rebellions in India, and then he became a scientist and built the submersible after that, basically trying to get the money from shipwrecks to fund himself and help to other, occasionally helping other people. That's how the narrator first discovers Nemo. I believe his ship was either attacked by the squid or some pirates. I don't remember this part. But the narrator was in a shipwreck basically, and he was rescued by Nemo at the time. And Nemo was like, "Well, you're a smart guy. Let me tell you about the story." Yeah. So, okay, here we go. The 10-part series is set in 1857 when the power of the British East India Company was at its peak, bolstered by its own private army and navy. The company is secretly building a massive submersible ship in India using slave labor from the colonial prisons. Nemo is among those prisoners and just happened to design the engine of the Nautilus, so he knows his way around the ship. Nemo orchestrates an uprising and escapes to sea with the Nautilus. The East India Company naturally wants their ship back. Meanwhile, Nemo and his motley crew sail beneath the seas on a mission of retribution and vengeance to utterly destroy the power of the company and the company itself. Well, that's a different start.
That's an interesting take on the book.
Yes, it is. Oh, and it looks like there's going to be a romantic interest in it.
Of course there is.
Of course there is. So you've never what Verne have you read? Have you read Verne or no? Or is that not your area of science fiction?
That was never my area of science fiction.
Okay.
I give him credit for being an early science fiction writer and being a seminal foundation science fiction writer. Him and Mary Shelley, the genre didn't really exist prior to them. I didn't read his books. I got my sci-fi from Asimov and Arthur C. Clarke, a little bit of Heinlein. I didn't read Verne. It's my dirty secret. You've revealed it. That's it. It's out there now.
And now we know.
Yep.
All right. Any other topics you want to talk about? Should we talk about the whole Epic versus Google results and the fallout from that?
Sure.
Okay. So we had the whole Epic versus Apple lawsuit, right?
Epic Games.
Yes. Epic Games lawsuit.
To be clear, Epic Games.
Yes.
Sure.
So we had the Epic Games lawsuit, which Epic sort of won-ish. It was but there was also in tandem the Epic versus Google lawsuit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
which was effectively the same thing.
Yes, but against Google this time.
Yeah.
And the judge in the Epic versus Google basically ordered Google to open up Google Play to competition for 3 whole years.
Okay.
Google will have to distribute rival third-party app stores within Google Play, and it must give rival third-party app stores access to the full catalog of Google Play apps unless the developers opt out.
Opt out?
Yes.
Holy shit.
So
I could go right now, write a store, put it on Google Play for people to download, and I automatically get access to all of the apps that are on Google Play that I could then say, oh yeah, I'll sell these.
Sure, yes.
And I could, for instance, lower the price and sell them at less than Google does, but only take 10% and still give the rest of it to the developer. So the developer might even make more money than they would with Google Play. Interesting.
So, starting November 1st, Google must also...
There's no way this passes, right?
Google
is appealing this.
Google is appealing this, and they're asking for a stay.
Way. Yeah,
They're asking for a stay on the ruling until the appeal process is completed.
Absolutely.
But
this is insane.
Yeah. So Google must also stop requiring Google Play billing for apps distributed on the Google Play Store. They must stop letting Android developers tell users about other ways to pay from within the Play Store. They must let developers link to ways to download their apps outside of the Play Store. And developers set their own prices for apps irrespective of Play billing. And Google also can't share app revenue with any person or entity that distributes Android apps or plans to launch an app store or an app platform. Can't offer developers money or perks to launch their apps on the Play Store exclusively or earlier. Offer developers money or perks to not launch their apps on rival stores.
Yep.
Can't offer device makers or carriers money or perks to pre-install the Play Store.
I mean, a lot of this feels like, just traditional anti-competitive stuff. Holy shit.
So yes, right now it's currently 3 years. And the judge is giving Google 8 months from now to come up with a system with a 3-person technical committee jointly chosen by Epic and Google for reviewing any disputes. That system will also come with a way for developers to opt out of being listed in rival Android app stores. So that's what's going on there. Google, of course, has said that they are going to appeal and they are asking for, a stay.
Yeah, I bet they are. Jesus Christ.
So 2 things that have come out of it. Well, one kind of really big thing is the fact that Microsoft said that they are going to have an Xbox app on Android with plans to sell and play titles within the app later this year.
Because assuming this doesn't get blocked.
Yes. Xbox president Sarah Bond said on X, let me get this loaded up so I can say what
I can fully imagine that day at Microsoft in the Xbox division when the news came down and they're like, fuck, all right, we're putting something out by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Just say it now, we're putting something out.
Our mission is to allow more players to play on more devices, so we are thrilled to share that starting in November, players will be able to play and purchase Xbox games directly from the Xbox app on Android. And that whole thing about playing games is part of the Xbox cloud gaming thing that they are talking about. So you will actually be able to stream Xbox games that you own that aren't part of the existing Xbox Games Pass library. So you'll be able to, use the Xbox app to do purchasing, and then you will also be able to stream games that you have purchased, stream it to your device and just play it on your phone.
Hopefully with a controller or something.
Well, yes, yeah. No, hopefully you have some sort of Bluetooth controller because
a lot of these games are not meant for touchscreens.
No, I have tried to play
4-inch wide touchscreens.
I have tried to play Minecraft on my phone sometimes because Isaac's like, hey, can you help me with this? And I try and do it doesn't. Minecraft is okay on a touchscreen. It's not great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the other thing is the fact that, okay, so yes, it's going to be an Xbox app. And in theory, once this project Lapland gets fully rolled out, you will be able to just purchase a game and just start playing it right there without actually needing an Xbox. So should be interesting. Some of the other people, though, some of the experts, because games industry talked to some people about this and they said, well, yes, there's going to be some effect, but the amount of spending on Android versus the amount of spending on iOS, okay, yes, there's going to be a change at the Google Play Store, but Apple still kind of won their argument.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's going to change the Android store, but iOS is still heads and shoulders above purchasing and revenue.
Right. For now. I mean, yeah. That is still, I'm still reeling from and I'm sure Google is too, getting this news of, yep, you have to open everything.
Mm-hmm. And starting on November 1st, which, they got the news earlier this week, and they're expected to by the end of, the month to completely, stop requiring Google Play for apps in the Play Store and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah.
You can't. You're not going to make that turnaround in 2 weeks.
No. So we shall see how that goes. What else we got here? Oh, so remember how EA and FIFA broke up?
That's one way of putting it.
Because,
You mean when FIFA said, we want more money,
Yes.
and EA said, we think we can do this without you?
Yeah. So, FIFA wanted what, $1 billion, I think, a year, every like 4 years or something like that.
Yep.
Or is it 1 billion for
Just
every?
some insane amount of
Yes.
money.
And EA said, hey, we'll do our own thing. And it seems to be working out for them.
Yeah, we're fine. We're going to take our ball and go home.
Yeah. FIFA has been looking for, people to handle their World Cup and other stuff like that. Turns out they have gotten Konami as their replacement for EA as FIFA's esports partner. Mainly, I think because Konami has a free-to-play eFootball game already. It was the completely rebranded original Pro Evolution Soccer, and they got rebranded to eFootball. Okay.
That is... I mean, sure. I think EA is still going to just destroy them.
Yeah. Oh, reception. At launch, eFootball 2022 was panned by critics and players who criticized the atrocious graphics, lack of content, laggy engine, and finicky controls.
Yep. Because, Konami, that like, absolutely known for football.
Yeah, no, oh no, something bad is happening to FIFA.
I feel no remorse about that.
Yeah, I feel so bad for FIFA. Oh.
Poor FIFA.
Poor FIFA.
Poor FIFA being just way too greedy.
Yep. So that's the latest news on that really old story. Like, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Took them 2 years to finally come to a partnership with somebody, and that was because they finally found somebody else who had a soccer game.
Meanwhile, EA is just eating them up.
Mm-hmm. Well, anything else on this list?
I don't think so.
All right. Should we hit the randoms?
Sure.
All right.
My review?
Yes, your review.
I would like to review KAOS.
Well, that's like our show in a nutshell.
Yes, but I mean the television show KAOS, spelled with a K. KAOS.
The crime agency from Get Smart?
Nope. It's not an acronym.
Oh, okay.
It's the word chaos.
I know. Okay, yeah. KAOS was an acronym.
Yeah.
In Get Smart. Okay, KAOS, the TV series. Okay.
The 2024 TV drama, a darkly comedic and contemporary retelling of Greek mythology, exploring themes of gender politics, power, and life in the underworld. Starring Jeff Goldblum.
As Zeus. Oh, boy.
As Zeus. So if you liked Jeff Goldblum in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you're like, I wish I could see more of that. I want to see Jeff Goldblum just like riffing and going nuts. And if we could tie in a like midlife crisis, existential crisis, like psychotic breakdown, that would probably be even better. Have I got the show for you? I don't know how to describe it. It's not a modern retelling. It's like mythological Greece, but set in modern times, but it's still mythological. Like, the gods are real. There is the underworld. Like, there is the realm of Hades. There is like the Furies, but also like Polyphemus, the famous Cyclops from the Odyssey, is just a dude with an eye patch.
Okay, that's one way of doing it.
Right. So like there's some mythology and like mythical stuff, but there isn't other. But the first characters that you meet are Eurydice and Orpheus, which is like a classic Greek myth.
Yep.
But it's not a classic Greek myth in this world. It's these two people, Orpheus and Eurydice, but living in like a modern time. And it's not like it's the like, oh yeah, we've been alive for thousands of years. It's like, no, they just are there. It's so well designed and so well acted, and it's so good. It does have a very like Marvel feel sometimes of the like dark comedy kind of stuff, right? Marvel does this all the time in their movies where like it's dark and then they say something funny to like break the tension a little bit. That certainly happens. But it's 8 episodes long. It's so well written. And Jeff Goldblum is just absolutely amazing watching him have this total and complete breakdown. It does, like, if you know certain Greek mythology, there are additional layers. But even if you don't know Greek mythology, it's still really good. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. The downside is that it didn't have an ending per se. Like, all of the first 8 episodes felt like a setup to a bigger, better show that will not see the light of day. Netflix has canceled season 2 for now. We'll see if they go back on that. It was really, really good. I highly recommend watching it, just with the understanding that there isn't going to be more.
Okay, KAOS. Well, I love Jeff Goldblum. I know some Greek mythology. I actually recognize some of the names on the cast here, so that's good.
Yep. The guy who plays Hades, David Thewlis, was Professor Lupin.
Yep. Oh, Susie Izzard. Yeah, one of the Fates. Okay, that should be interesting.
Billy Piper.
Yeah. Oh, what have I seen Cliff Curtis in? I've seen him in something.
Checking. Columbiana.
Oh, he was in Training Day and Three Kings and Collateral Damage. Okay.
He is also a voice in Invincible.
Oh.
He's Paul. I don't know who Paul is. I don't
know.
remember Paul. Have you watched Invincible?
No.
How are you with the hyper-violent cartoons?
Well, I did watch all of Hit Monkey. Did they do a Hit Monkey season 2 yet? I know they said they were going to. Oh, they did. July. All right. Well, I'll have to catch back up on that.
Go watch Invincible, Andy.
There's so many other things, Dave.
I know. I'm aware. It's only so many hours in the day, and they keep producing more content for us.
Yes, I know. And then I'm hanging out with my kids playing, Castle Panic.
That's why there's only so many hours in the day.
Let's see. We played Castle Panic. We played Uno. We played Guess Who. We played Lego Marvel Superheroes. And then we were building a Lego kit.
And you definitely 100% absolutely do not want your kids in the room when you are watching Invincible.
That's what I assume. So,
but like J.K. Simmons. Tell you what, watch episode 1 of Invincible, and then you can decide if you want to find out more.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Okay,
cool.
Well, should we hit the random topic?
Yeah, probably.
All right. What do you have in your basement that you are holding on to that honestly you should just get rid of?
So much.
There was something I was going to today actually get rid of that is downstairs in the basement.
Yep.
It is a DeWalt portable planer.
Yep.
When's
the last time you used a portable planer, Andy?
I have never actually used this portable planer. This was from Kate's dad.
Okay. Facebook Marketplace. Take a picture. It'll be gone in 2 days.
I just want it out of the basement, so I was going to take it over to the Habitat for Humanity restore.
Yep, that works too.
Just drop it off there. I did that
works too.
I did that with the circular saw. So there's a lot of tools down there that I just want to get rid of.
Some of my photography stuff from college and some of my high school notes and papers. We should 100% just get rid of that stuff.
Yeah. No, my parents had a banker box of stuff that they had saved from each of my school years that was back at my parents' house that was just kind of stacked in the corner of my room. And it took me days to go through all of that. And how much of that did I keep? Basically none of it.
Yeah.
There were a couple of things. I was like, oh, that's cute. That's nice. I'll keep that. But 99% of that stuff, just trashed it. But yes, no, I was literally thinking of today going, I really should get that out of the basement.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's tools down there. There's clothing. I think I've got a bunch of jackets that I may or may not actually fit into anymore.
Also good things to check.
Yep. I've actually got some of my grandfather's jackets down there too, which, I had a lot of stuff for sentimental reasons, but I'm it's just been sitting there. I haven't touched it in years.
I have stuff in the basement that I put in the basement 12 years ago, and it is still there.
Yep. No, there are a couple of bins that I completely forgot about until I went down there to grab some of the Xbox 360 nasty stuff. I was like, oh, that's still down here. Well,
Oh.
damn.
That's where that went.
Yeah.
Oops.
I haven't played you in forever.
Yeah.
And you're going to go right back in that bin.
Yep.
So yes, no, it's kind of a blessing and a curse that we've got a little bit of a crawl space area in the basement because we can leave things there, but then it's a slight abyss where it's like, okay, well, now what? So, no, there's a bunch of stuff that I need to get rid of out of that basement, especially with the kids spending more time down there building random stuff out of Legos. I build my kits out of Legos and then I just leave them built in the basement. And then as I go down there, it's like they're slowly eroding.
Because they're stealing parts from it?
Yep. Or, they're playing with them and they fall apart and they're just like, I don't know how to put this back together. So they just keep playing with it. There was like a Formula One car that I've got there that doesn't have the rear spoiler or the front wings or the front wheels anymore, but they're still playing with it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't know where any of that stuff went to. It's somewhere in this basement. So,
but they're having fun.
Yes, yep.
And that's the important part.
That is the important part. They're having fun. Well, on that life tip, I feel like that's a wrap. This has been another episode of the Random Access Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, corrections, suggestions, remarks, reviews, rebukes, retorts, or just rants, feel free to contact us. You can find us on Twitter at RAPodcast or send us an email at mail@rapodcast.net. Thank you for listening.